Sun, Moon and Rising 2023. I thought I'd do a different setup today, just kind of bored with sitting at the other table, so I've moved over this way. I lit my candles. I've got my black and my white because nothing is either black or white. Sometimes there's grey, so I also lit the red one, but it's since gone out, so maybe I'm not meant to light that one. The decks I'm using are the ones I always use, which I'll hold up. So it's Doreen Virtue, Radleigh Valentine, 78 card Fairy Tarot deck. I like it because of the illustrations by Radleigh Valentine. My next card is Fairy Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, artwork by Selena Fennick. And the next card I've got is The Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. Channeled messages. I got these as of yesterday. So one I had this morning was of an umbrella, and I was trying to run across the road to a shop, to a job, possibly a prospect that I've gone and applied for or looking at to apply for. And it wasn't raining, but I had the umbrella and I had to put it up, but it was kind of broken, but I made sure I put it up, and it was dark. So that generally means as long as you are under the umbrella, this is actually a scriptured Bible message. I'm not that religious. However, I do believe you are under the umbrella of God's commands. You'll be shielded from consequences. If you'll step out from under the umbrella, expect the consequences. So it's saying if you go against the church, then you'll get it thrown back at you. Karma is a funny way of getting even Steven just about square. So anyone who tries to curse or put a spell or a hex on the Bible, that would be my name, which is Kelly. It's named after a Bible, Book of Kells. Good luck to them, because it'll all come back at them. And they need to remember that when you're named after a biblical book, that you're basically dissing the church, which is not a good idea. And you will not have the protection of the umbrella from God's shield. You'll have his wrath instead. I also got a vision of a wedding at a period of great happiness, it means, in love. So I was at this wedding reception and I was picking up all these flowers from the reception, and it was evening. Well, it was like on dusk in the afternoon, and it became dark really quickly. It means in love, enjoy your dream wedding and many more, and marry the love of your life. So that's for some people out there who are fire signs. Or maybe you already have married the love of your life. The next thing we got was the Three of Swords, which can represent a time at the moment that you are going through. Maybe it's a period of separation from a lover, a sibling, or a family relative. And it may have been over an argument, or it might be because that person lives in a different country. It could be a lover that lives far away from you. And so you will not see them until possibly Christmas or winter. Winter is Christmas in the States, and here it's actually summer. So you might be at opposite ends of the globe, and that the distance is because that you're at opposite ends of the globe. You may not see them till this autumn, which is their fall. You may be brokenhearted by their behaviour and their continual attacks on your agency or your self-worth. You cannot have a relationship if that person continually throws you under the bus. My old boss's favourite saying. Don't throw yourself under the bus for someone who wouldn't even lift a finger to help you. Continually do that, and you will end up with being the one who's hurt, because you're the one always lifting your finger to help them and making big grand gestures, but they're not willing to do the same for you. So if these people intentionally talk in circles or insinuate, speak in innuendos, talking about your imperfections, continually attacking your character, which I would call defamation of character, to your face, toxicity is best avoided at this time. This time is best left for you to continue the healing process, work through sadness, even if it's a parent, a relative, a child. If it plays with your mental health, if it upsets you, then just leave them be. Let them rot in their own toxicity. The next card I pulled is the High Priestess card. Might be you. You may be a spiritual leader of your church. You possibly could have psychic abilities, or maybe you need to consult someone who is at the same level as you. If there is no one at the same level as you, maybe go online and look out for someone like Mitchell Coombs, who does mediumship, and he's a very, very powerful psychic medium, or the lady Alison Dubois. She's also gives really good advice when it comes to training for metaphysical studies. I usually just look around at all the YouTube videos and to see which one stands out for me. Who I like at the moment is Ocean Only, Saltwater Heals, Mermaid Scales, Tarot. Who else do I like? Suit of Cups Tarot, Queen of Cups Tarot, and Feline Intuition. I usually go to all of those readers. I find them really accurate. I find that they're really quite spot on. The channeled messages that come from Mermaid Scales is really quite accurate. Okay, so then you may need a reading with a psychic medium to connect to your loved ones. You may be carefully reflecting before taking action. Insights may come through meditation, astral nighttime dreams, spiritual knowledge or enlightenment, gathering information in order to come to a later decision. Your gifts are real and intuitive insights are accurate. Most important revelations come from our vagus gland or second brain in our stomach. So intuition, I would be picking a stone, which is from Rainbow Runner, which I've got a lot of my crystals from in Hamilton, New South Wales. This one's called Lapis Lazuli, and it's an Egyptian stone. I feel I've got past lives in Egypt. I've had many visions of being near the Dead Sea, well, they call it the Black Sea. And I've had a lot of visions of being inside a pyramid and actually coming down a stairwell or down a podium, and I was in these purple robes. They were waiting for me to talk. So I've got past lives in Egypt and as a medium, as a psychic. So it's passed along from lifetimes. And I think my other children have it as well, but my youngest particularly came through in a reading that he was comes from a long line of clairvoyance, or some people call it clairvoyance, which is the sense of touch or just a knowing. I wrote these down because I don't remember them. So you've got clairvoyance, which is to do with fast seeing or clear seeing, clear sight. Then you have claircognizance, just knowing something's going to happen. Or the clairintensence, which is recognizing your feelings. Or there's another one called clairgustance, which talks about you'll smell or you'll feel or you'll sense something food related, which is relating to somewhere you're going to go. For most musicians, they're clairaudient, which means they hear a song in their head and then they write it down. So it's like it comes from nowhere. So that's the intuitive people that are usually artists. They're creative people. They're writers. They're artists. They're musicians. They could be sewers, like to sew. They may like to, do macrame. Just there's lots of ways you can access your intuition, and one of them is through what you do creatively. So if you are a creative and you are an actor, for example, then you must get on stage and act or play a musical instrument. So it says here. So beneath you is the Three of Wands. So Three of Wands, possibly back in October. This is a timing. I can give you a timing. Back in spring last year, 2022, you had three choices to make when it came to job offers. Satisfaction from a job well done. You may have had patience and your dreams may have come true with the job that you got. Nine of Pentacles, 9 years ago. So this is this card here. This is the card of the creator or a creative business person who works from home. She's got a musical harp. So there's her musical talent that she does from home. So you may have launched your own business or side hustle online. You may have enjoyed your own company and chose to work alone or from home, rewarding yourself for your wonderful achievements. Then you've got the Seven of Summer. This card is to do with 7 choices. So you may have 7 different areas of your life you're trying to work on. Your home life, your education, which course to study, or your spiritual path, whether you're studying spirituality, physically, whether you're getting active, which course you want to do, which place to live. You're trying to figure out and research what your next move is. And for what I try to do is not tell anyone my next move. I tell people what they want to hear because I don't like people prying into my personal life. So, I just talk out loud of the thoughts I might have, but I'm not actually going to go do them. I'll go do something entirely different. The King of Wands. So you've got here for the intuition, and then you've got the next crystal I've got from Rainbow Runner is the Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye is, for me, Leo energy. So you may have someone coming up around you that may be an actor or an actress who wants to collaborate with you, join forces and do something together. They may have some ideas or suggestions or ways to make things look better or do it better, what you're already doing. They could be a leader. That might be a leader in their field. So they might be acted for quite a long time or been in media for a long time. Two people to choose from. So one of these people is a fire sign, Aries, Sag, or Leo, or they may have Leo heavily in their chart, or they could be in promotions, and there could be a promotion in your career. They're charismatic, they're bold, a flair for the dramatic in whatever they try in the industry that they have chosen. They are performers or actors or actresses on stage or on television. They may be innovative, they may be motivational, they love their family, they're quite the paternal figure, warm and charming. They provide you with warm counsel, just don't upstage them because they like to be the centre of attention. Every Leo I've ever met has to be the star of the show. Yeah, they do tantrums quite often. Okay, the next card I've got is the Lovers card, and I picked the crystal of the rose quartz for love. The Lovers is this one. And see how she's in a cathedral and there's the two of them and he's in a military garb. So some of you could be military people, or the person that you like is in military and that's why they're not here right now. You might be separated because of their military commitments. So the lover could be a Gemini. It could be a choice between a younger and an older lover, because then you've got up here in the top corner here, you've got the Prince of Autumn. So that talks about a younger Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn around you. So you've got two to choose from. One's older, that's the Wand, the King of Wands, who was the Leo, Sag, Aries. And the other one is younger. But they are your protector, because I've got the black onyx to protect. So they are your protector. They could be a guardian. They could be looking out for your well-being. And trust me, I don't like people looking out for my well-being. I like to look out for myself. I'm very independent. That would just irk me. So then you've got the Four of Wands. Yeah, that's to do with the wedding card. I kept, as I said, I channeled this message about 2 nights ago. I was at someone's wedding reception, and it had these beautiful flowers like the ones that my son had when I had my son, my baby. He was born in November, so I had November lilies, and they were the most beautiful lilies. So some of you might be getting married in November. You might have to plan the wedding, or you're thinking of planning it for the spring months, which is usually the best time to get married. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. And then it's a good time to get flowers because all the beautiful spring flowers come out. That's why most people get married in spring. Flowers are more accessible. And you know, your makeup's not going to slide off your face, because with weddings, you don't want to go to a hot wedding when your makeup's dripping and you're trying to keep it all together, and it's an outdoor wedding, or it's an indoor wedding and everyone's trying to make sure they don't lose their makeup. That used to happen in Brisbane a lot. I had to try and do formal makeup for people, and they were going off to a wedding, or one was doing a photograph shoot, and yeah, I had to try and promise her that it wasn't going to slide off her face. Now, we can't make those promises because we don't know how your skin's going to behave if you've been drinking the night before. If you're on heart medication, you know, all these contributing factors can cause, and what skin type you are can cause the makeup to stay on longer or less than. If you've got a dry skin type, fantastic, you're good as gold. But if you're normal to combination skin type or oily, oh, good luck. You need those blotting papers, which I don't like, or just take a little fluffy powder brush with you and touch up. Keep it in your little purse, like most people do when they go down the aisle. They've got a little purse for their lipstick and their powder puff. So something like that would be good. Now I'm going off topic, but I just like to talk about weddings because I've done quite a few of them. And they were all very different. And one was in a storm. That was interesting. One was when we had all these people come from New Zealand, and we'd had a storm. I think that big storm in 2008, the day before. So we didn't even know if the wedding was going to go ahead, and they had all these people fly out from New Zealand, and I can remember we had to drive and dodge like logs and fallen trees, and I was surprised we even got there, but we got there, and because we promised her, and I found that the bridesmaids were harder to deal with than the bride. The bride didn't like makeup, so I had to try and do something that she would like, and she was happy with, and I did very natural makeup and she loved it, and bridesmaids, I did what they wanted, and in the end we got through it, but the wedding reception was washed out, so they had to do it somewhere else. It was just really, really bad timing. You can't always plan things. I think that's what I've learned from everything with the pandemic, with being homeless, is that you cannot plan your next meal. I don't even buy for the next week. I'll buy things every 2 days because I never know. I never knew when I was going to have enough money to spend on either paying for living in a hotel or having to forgo food. So I stopped eating quite often, and I lost a lot of weight because I was moving around so much, trying to get from hotel to hotel. And then when I was sleeping in a refuge, I chose to just get food that would only last me 2 days because I didn't trust anyone, and I could lock my door, but I still didn't feel, well, I felt safe, but I just didn't trust the fridge. The fridge kind of was a bit wonky. The second bedroom I went to was better, had a really cold fridge. So to this day, I only buy it for every 2 days. I don't try and fill the cupboards because I probably won't eat it. And ever since I've gone through all that, I don't actually have an appetite. Yeah, got to try and find a way to get one of those. So you've got around you this wedding, and for some, moving to a new place of work could be represented by the Four of Wands. That could be a place of work. It's a building. So some of you could be getting married near a castle, or you could be royalty and getting married in a castle. So for very, very minute people that I'm talking about, very small, minute people, you could be trying to say thank you to your family and friends, your co-workers, and some of you may be marrying, as I said, near the castle or the royalty, or have connections to royalty. Then you've got here the card, which is the Prince of Autumn, which is your protector. He's your guardian. He is very cautious. He's a slow-moving person who's on the leaf, who's slowly going down the river with his orb, which is his scepter, which can sometimes represent royalty, as they carry a scepter when they're crowned. You may be getting crowned in the future as the king. For some people, like, I don't know, it could be anyone. Could be any country. So it talks about that. They've got a very good eye for business. You may have a really, you might be trying to do your own business, and this person can help you plot out a business strategy or a business plan to maximize and improve areas on what you're doing online or what you're doing as a sideline hustle. They are Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. They could be younger than you. They're slow moving. They are dependable, protective, humorous, chivalrous, a hard worker, a nature lover who is a vegan or vegetarian, meticulous attention to detail, and someone offers you a gift, a job, or a plan or a strategy. They're courageous, gallant, trustworthy, kind. They are your protector and truly watch out for you. And they can help you with your online business. Then you've got the Ten of Cups. This is the happily ever after card. So you have the Two of Cups, and then the two become three because there's the children on the back, or four. The two become four because they've got two children on that boat. And then they're sailing down the boat, to Avalon, where they're very happy. This person, again, could be at a distance from you. It may be a very emotionally charged marriage. You may have great love for each other, but you also fight like cat and dog. And that's because you really care about each other. But you're getting a lot of support. You're both very supportive of each other's different activities. Then I have pulled the Change in the Wind. This is my card of a zebra is always a zebra, right? It doesn't lose its stripes, so it's never going to change. But some zebras, because this is a complete opposite of what zebras are, is the old saying, a leopard never loses its spots. Well, the zebra is going to lose its stripes because the wind is picked up. This is my Aquarian card. I call this the shake up, the tower card. It's someone who will, have a tower moment, and either they'll have an argument with someone, and it usually comes out of the field, like left of field. It's not what anyone expects, and they do things unexpectedly. They're unpredictable. They are they're like the tornado. They just come out of nowhere, and sometimes people put up with shit. I'm going to say shit. I know it's a YouTube channel, but people put up with stuff for so long. And I've been doing a course on self-development on how to control when you're overwhelmed and you do the head flip and you just lose your head and you just yell and scream and have a go. Because you've just put up with so much goading, or I call it baiting, from that person who's baiting you to get a rise out of you, that when they get hit with it, when they get your sword and you stab them with it, if you've got an Aquarian, nature, or you've got a scorpion stinger, because I've got a scorpion very strongly in my chart, that's when you have to sting. And these people know that you're going to sting them if they keep pushing and prodding the bear. But eventually they have to have a sting in order for them to wake up to themselves and make sure that they realise that their words hurt. that they need to be careful with their words, because words can have meaning and words can make things come true. It's like saying a spell. If you curse someone out loud, it will happen to them. Or if you say, I'm ugly, I'm fat, you'll become ugly and fat. So this is why I'm against it. It's like performing a spell on someone and you mean them ill will. I do none of that. I don't agree with that. I'm the opposite. I'm always saying good things about my children. I say, oh, you look lovely today. Oh, aren't you handsome? You know, encouraging words, not demoralizing put downs. I won't put up with that. A sense that unseen change has been initiated, preparation for a storm. And yeah, when they get whipped up, this fire whips up air will explode into a tornado. Your plans are not on firm ground, feeling a shift, uncertainty about which direction the wind will blow. It's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change. And I've known for the last 6 years that I've had nothing but movement. I've been like a gypsy for 6 years. And I know don't take anything for granted. I still have my suitcase out because I'm ready for the next time I have to move. Want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. I don't get attached anymore. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed in change is a time of transformation. Is at now, conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air. Scatter seeds, there might be rain this afternoon, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get very interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies, and the only solid thing in my life is Kennards Hire. They've been like a family to me. The girls there are wonderful. Melissa in particular, I'll give a shout out to. She's been there through the tears, through the upheaval, through the loss of the house, the job, the two places I had a permanent residence at, my children not being able to see me, I'm not being able to talk to the family. Of course, we had a family breakdown. She's been through all that with me. I count her as one of my very good friends, and I haven't seen her because I've had health issues. I still haven't got my hands around the health. I'm trying to get that back. I don't want to go in there because she's got a small child, and I don't want to infect her little girl. So that's why I haven't been to see you, Melissa, if you're watching this. Okay, and yeah, I'm coming in. I'm trying to pay more money this week off the storage. I may have to move some more boxes from my mother's back into yours. Only 2 that I know of at this stage. And I might have to keep one here. It says nothing is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed is death, divorce, taxes, and change. And I put that in because it's true. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. Relationships go through periods where partners seem out of sync with each other, and stormy emotions and moods threaten to take down the ship. Perhaps someone has had a change of heart and leaves. These rough seas offer opportunities for mutual growth, a way for you to understand your own heart better, and to know that you need to be truly happy. Rest assured that whatever is happening now, good will come from it. Take temporary shelter and remove yourself from drama. Which, if you've got a Leo, someone with a Leo in their chart, you're going to have drama. The air will clear and everything will be fresh and new again. This too shall pass. Yeah, it's a good time. There's nothing to fear. Perhaps an opportunity you thought went to someone else. Perhaps you pursued something that you suddenly realise is not in your highest goods, and it's like you're throwing yourself under the bus. You may not be 100% clear, and I'm itching my nose because this is true. When you itch your nose, it's a sign that you're onto the right channel. It's usually your intuition trying to prod you. Things may not be 100% clear where you need to go, but you are certain that things are not going as planned. Circumstances are not in your control right now. Wait it out. All will be well. Even better, actually trust that it will. So that's my Aquarian card. Change in the wind. The storm. The storm that rocks the boat. And then we've got round and round. This is, again, the fates. This is like a wheel of fortune. This person you're going to meet, or 2 people you're going to meet, were destined for you to meet. And the one that you pick or choose, the one you marry, was meant for you. They are your soulmate. They may have met you in a past life and you finally met them in this one. And when you meet them, it's like you've known them your whole life. Or you see things for them like I do. When I meet someone and I have a connection or just something, I will pick up stuff for them. Like, I don't mean to. I'm not trying to tiptoe through their brain. I'm not trying to read their mind. I'm not trying to trespass. It's just what I do, and I can't help but do that. So I have to be careful what I touch. I'm like this antenna that needs to wear gloves everywhere. I'm thinking about investing very soon. A pair of gloves that if I touch anything, I'm not going to get a read off it. Okay, so we've got 25. This spiral of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated, cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. So yeah, you can continue to do the same drama, the same argument, or you can choose to walk away. I've chose to walk away. The appearance of this card is a reminder that although it may appear that you've gone backwards, the truth is you are standing at a higher perspective. Looking down at your circumstance, you will learn something or do something better and break a cycle set up in the past. You actually have a bird's eye view of your initial footprints and can access the wisdom and lessons learned. Are you wondering, how did I get here again? Does something feel familiar? Right now it is your dynamics with others, maybe a little too familiar. Don't be surprised that you've found yourself repeating an old story with the same sort of person who may not look similar but who attracted you because of your easy acquaintance with his or her qualities. Your relationship is a mix of what is good and what is potentially challenging. You've been drawn to this person through the perfection of Spirit's plan for your evolution. You may have circled back to an accustomed spot. I call Newcastle my oubliette, a familiar place in the movie The Dark Crystal. But that's fine, as you do get things again, as you get to do things over or revisit that situation, only differently this time, for you learn something of great value since the last time around. How will you choose to behave now you're aware? Remain curious and stay out of the blame game. If you're in a scenario that appears to be an echo of something that already happened in the past in your life work, is because you're being invited to see what you couldn't see before. This is a perfect time for you to look at the deeper motives you have and your attraction to the opportunities and people who have entered your life to be part of that journey. Who helps you navigate? Who sabotages you? Who supports you? What are the familiar signs and your responses to them? When you find yourself in a repeat of a pattern or a repeat rinse cycle, it's a good time to get a coach or a mentor who can help you see what you can't on your own. Repeat what works, not what doesn't. And then you will speak free in yourself from old cycles and cease going round and round. But you will get well, because the Lovers card is talking about return to health. So if your health has been bad like mine has, it's going to do a big turnaround, a big 360. And then I've got for you this card, which I really like. I thought I put, oh yeah, that's it there. Solace. So this is talking about having natural therapies as a means to return to nature, using things from trees like chamomile tea or lemon and ginger tea or flower essences in conjunction with the medication that's been prescribed to you. Is what a compounding chemist recommends, and I thoroughly believe in it. I'm actually looking at doing more teas like lemon and ginger, and I find it flushes out whatever's wrong with you, or if you've been sick or ill, it'll get rid of it really quickly. And you find actually ginger and lemon makes your hair grow. It's great for hair growth. So a lot of people I know since COVID have been stressed out and had loss of hair. It's gone. They lose their hair, or it goes grey, or it just falls out from stress, and stress can also push blood pressure up. Anger and out of control situations can push blood pressure up. A lot of the time it's not what you're eating or doing per se, it's your emotional gut reaction to what is going on that you can't control. And so stress is one of those things that can wear the body down and can actually kill you. While you may be feeling fatigued and alone, the fairies advise that you do what they do when they feel down and saddened and in need of alone time. Return to the trees and to their wisdom. Trees and their energy speak to us. Their voice is slow and strong. Tendrils of energy that caress and surround us. It is now time for you to find that tree, that forest, that old growth place where you can connect your energy with the energy of an ancient one, a tree who has seen so much and can ease you through the current time which you are caught up in the problems that beset you. The tree will comfort you, lend you some of its energy and soothe your hurts and ease your worries. You will emerge from this time healed, whole and happier. Being outside is peaceful. It's the result of seeking time with old and true friends. With every breath you draw in sitting with your tree, know you are breathing in that energy, their oxygen. And with every out breath, know that they are breathing in what you no longer need. Trees and human beings work beautifully together, and the fairies want to help re-establish this relationship for your own comfort and protection. When you find your tree for healing, please ask its permission before sitting with it. Then sit either within the tree or with your back against the trunk. When you do so, a silvery mist-like aura will surround you, and the tree and you may become aware of orbs and light around you, perhaps seen only with the corner of your eye. This is how you know we are with you, for the fairies dwell with the trees, and we work together for the earth, our mother. The only requirement we have is that by working with the trees for solace and healing, you'll be able to comprehend how interconnected we are we all are, and how we need the old ones, the trees, by taking part in allowing them to clear our energy. You'll work to create, to help safe places for these powerful and wise of wizards, the trees. Feeling disconnected, time to garden, have plants and flowers around your home. Understand more about growth and put down deep roots. Take time to contemplate in a wild setting. Understand you are part of nature and of the earth. Starting to see and connect more with the natural world and with nature. Concern for the world's old growing forests. Connection to the Celtic worship of trees and nature, and understanding that by doing so you can connect with magic and the fairies more and more easily. If you dwell in a city, take time out for a park and visit and retreat into solitude. Connecting with bush flower essences may help. I've got a mixture called hawthorn extract, which I use to strengthen the heart, and I take 6 drops of that daily. I got it from Visionary Health, and I find it's really good, and it's probably the only thing that saved my life when I recently had problems with blood pressure, because I could only take that and Cardia until I got the right meds. The Merlin. Now, I got told this the other day. I was on the bus, and this man, who I have no idea who he is, he was an older guy, and he sat down and he looked at me and said, is your background Filipino? I said, no. Oh, he says, maybe you may be, not Filipino, the other one he said was Kiwi. And I said, no. Oh, and he says, well, I think you look like a teacher. And I said, well, no, not at the moment. But then I thought about it. And Merlin is a teacher of spiritualism, and I teach spiritualism on this channel. So I guess I'm a spiritual teacher, and I never thought of it like that. I'm hoping other people learn from what I've learned, and that'll pass along to the next generation of psychic children, gifted children, crystal children, rainbow children, indigo children, the next generation of these children who don't need meds to get rid of their God-given natural gifted abilities. They just need more time, more attention, and they have big emotions, and you have to learn to work with those emotions and not numb them or drown them out with meds. I totally disagree with medication for kids that are gifted. Just finding the page for this one. 33. When the Ancient One, the Merlin, comes forward to speak with you, you are speaking with all the knowledge of the ancient druids have spent time in fairylands for years, many of whom remain there still, overlooking the wise mentor and teacher. It is difficult to overestimate his depth of knowledge, his compassionate heart, and his character, and his laughter. It is part fae, part human, and all wise and loving. He is a teacher who comes to you with a message that you must find a teacher who claims not to know all, but who can guide you to the knowledge hidden within your own self, as I am looking for one of those as well. Big hell to control my gift. And reach out and obscure to you at present. It will be time to study and be corrected when Merlin comes to you. His guidance can feel stern to some, but because he is not always available for very long periods of time, it is imperative to make each